1999 was a year in gaming that brought along many amazing games and releases. The Dreamcast came out, the Y2K stereo was up and running, and we ended the millennium with some awesome games with starts of legendary franchises. So, without sparing any more time, let's get into it. Wrestlemania 2000 was the first WWF hockey game after the success of WCW Revenge and WCW World Tour, which were both amazing games in their own right. So of course, WWF had to pick them up after seeing how WWF Attitude and WWF Warzone turned out, and even for its time, those games were not particularly that great. So this pickup was much needed. WWF WrestleMania 2000 is easily one of my favorite wrestling games of all time, and it tends to get overshadowed by its sequel, WWF No Mercy, but this is definitely not one to skip out on. Many different match types make their WWF game debut, including the Royal Rumble and the Steel Cage match, which later on I will explain how the Steel Cage match is extremely flawed, but it is still nice to have that match nonetheless. This game also has full-on entrances, which the sequel WWF No Mercy lacks, but that's mainly due to just memory constraints. And in this game's extensive creation suite that has been expanded upon from the WCW games brings in WCW taunts, moves, and hell, there's even moves from the first Virtual Pro Wrestling game in this game, which is just super dope. This game came out in 1999, so you know this roster is stacked, including some of your favorites such as Stone Cold, The Rock, Kane, Undertaker, Triple H, and Chyna. This will also mark the WWF game debut of guys such as Chris Jericho, The Hardys, and Gangrel. Now the most important part of the game, which is its gameplay, and man, this game delivers like no other. It will make you get hooked. Only games that I would say that will actually surpass this in terms of wrestling is of course its sequel, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, and possibly even SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. But this gameplay is just so amazing. It's that classic Aki goodness that you like know and come to love from its previous games working with WCW. And to be honest, that's what a lot of current WWE games are missing, especially the 2K series, which is basically it's just that hooked. It's just that the gameplay of these current games are just not that enticing or just not that fun. Now my only real gripe, as I had mentioned earlier, is the Steel Cage match, which this Steel Cage match, while it is a cool add-in to the game, man, this match is a match that I would recommend you guys avoid at all cost. The reason why is simply because this match is honestly complete bullshit. You can hit your opponent with a million finishers. They could be in the freaking danger zone. You could climb up the cage. You could be mashing all the freaking buttons that you can, and it just seems like no matter what, they will just always keep getting back up, which is just ridiculous. Which of course means that this match can just drag on for a long time. So yeah, if you guys want to try out this match, I would just say try it out once, and then after that, just basically avoid it as much as you can. As well, the Royal Rumble can drag on for a bit, so if doing longer matches isn't your thing, skip this one as well. Other than that, man, this was definitely an amazing game and just such a great game to encapsulate the Attitude Era in 1999. Let's get even more extreme with the start of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater franchise. This game came out during the peak of skating. Tony Hawk hitting the 900 at the X Games and the rise of street skating. This was such a perfect game to just complement that just insane meteoric rise of skating during the late 90s and the early 2000s. What some people may not know is that originally this game was supposed to be a downhill racing game before it got changed to a goal-based game, which was obviously for the better. Maps such as Downhill Jam and Mall are still remnants from that original concept, which is why those two levels really don't flow as well as the rest of the game, which, to be honest, the less said about Downhill Jam, the better, because that map is absolute garbage. It is complete garbage. Do not play this map. Like, play it once, get the goals, and don't ever touch that map ever again. Especially in the first Tony Hawk game, it is just so bad to play. So the goal of this game is pretty simple. Do you see all these goals? Complete as much of them as you can in the allotted time, which is extremely simple, but man, it's the gameplay of this game that just makes it so addicting. Like, this game's entire gameplay loop is just so great, and it's just so fun, and it just sets up a great baseline for the future games to just build upon and just expand more and more, which is why this game is just so important, because it essentially just laid out the groundwork for the future games to just build upon. Of course leading into my personal favorite game of the series, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and Tony Hawk's Underground, which just blew the whole combo system apart and just expanded it so much that it was just absolutely insane. Overall, this is a great game that you can just go back to just to see how the game's series just like started, and just to see how that base was laid, and like how these other games evolved from its rather basic starts to the more insane combo filled gameplay that it would soon be known for, going into like Tony Hawk's Underground 1, 2, and American Wasteland. As well, like this game is just a perfect time capsule of that late 90s skating boom, which is just undefeated. So, just like other series, Sony must have just forgot that this series exists, and that is honestly kind of sad, since man, like, Sony used to make so much more than just glorified movie games trying to be more Hollywood. Sony actually used to make video games, which is shocking, I know. Ape Escape is a prime example of what Sony was actually capable of, and man, like, I just personally wish that Sony would just like get back to making games like this again. Ape Escape is such a good game that has so much replay value, and it's simply just a 3D platformer where all you do is collect monkeys. Like, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. This game has many different abilities and tools to use to your advantage, even the monkey radar, which honestly, once you reach a certain point in this game, you won't really need it, as just that the level design of this game is just so good and it's just so clear that you just want to naturally explore it. And plus as well, like, you also have tools such as a slingshot and like a sword that like you can use to just like help you fend off like the many different enemy types in this game. Plus as well, because of its amazing level design, it does not have to rely on exactly telling you where to go, i.e. Modern games and the yellow paint crisis, which is just absolutely insane because at this point devs are essentially telling you that like you are too stupid just to know where to go or what to interact with, which to be honest, that is just an overall game design flaw. And man, this game has such an amazing art style. This game's art style just invokes a very spacey, very floaty-esque feeling, which is like perfectly sums up that whole Y2K era of 1999 all the way up to 01. And it just invokes just such a warm and fuzzy feeling, if that makes any sense to you. And of course, this game's soundtrack is just DMB perfection, man. I could just play the soundtrack in like every single video and not get tired of it, because it's just that damn good, man. And plus, well, this is also a very good soundtrack to just go along with the gameplay loop of just like capturing monkeys and getting zapped by them and then as well just getting like knocked off of the freaking stages and like all that stuff. Man, like it's just a good, complete, solid game. So yeah, guys, like if you have the chance, grab this game, and like cause like it is simply one of the best platformers of its time, and it's just also a reminder that like Sony used to actually make video games. Like I might make a future video just like showing off all of the games that like Sony just seemed to have just forgot or they just don't care about. And like all these games, they could still be like super good nowadays if they just stop trying to be a Hollywood like movie company and just like go back to making actual video games that's like folks would want to play. I love Gran Turismo 2, and it's just simply a game that a car nut like myself could just ask for, because man, like this game just has everything that you want and then some. Gran Turismo always leaned more into the simulation aspect, but not so much show like a full-on sim as you would see with games like iRacing or Project Cars. It does have some arcade elements, but just of course like not so extreme as you would see with games such as Ridge Racer, which would basically make this game one of the first ever simcades, which would of course inspire games such as Forza Horizon and Project Gotham Racing. Of course, the fun to be had here is with the cars and the track selection of this game, which this game has plenty of cars and tracks to choose from. Like this game features over 100 cars, which in a PS1 game was just amazing and just absolutely insane, as well as many different variants of these cars, which could like increase the car count to like over 400 cars, which is just mind-blowing. Now, I know, like in the previous sections, I did not mention graphics, simply because I really don't care much for them. But man, this game has some style, man, cause this game still holds up to this day, which is just amazing. Simply because it has its own unique art style that can just test the time. And the thing is, like, a lot of games from this time age well simply because they are not trying to go for this photo realism that like like most games are going for nowadays, which is how most games now tend to age like ass, simply because a lot of those games age just as fast as they come out. But this game just stands the test of time, and man, just like the whole car models of this game are just amazing for 1999. And this game's soundtrack, of course, is just simply amazing. Like this game just has so many classic alternative rock bands and songs that just like perfectly encapsulates that late 90s mood, man. Bands such as Stone Temple Pilots, which is a personal favorite of mine, Garbage, The Cardigans, and Rob Zombie all have songs in this game which just perfectly fits this game, and like to be honest, like this game has shaped a lot of my music taste. And of course, this game's OST is just also like legendary. It is quite easily one of the best OSTs in gaming history, bar none. I mean, look, like the jams of East City and West City are just, those two songs alone are just legendary. Plus, as well, if I'm not mistaken, this game actually is the first time we would hear the Dragula remix, which if you guys have not heard it, go and check it out, man. It is such a good remix of just like such a badass song. And thing is like this song is in both this game and it's also in Jet Set Radio, which is just both amazing games. Check out my last video if you would like to hear my thoughts about Jet Set Radio on that matter. And if you play this game, you know about Laguna Seca and that corkscrew. Man, there were so many license tests failed because of that corkscrew, and dude, trying to get gold on that corkscrew in this game. All that I have to say is that good luck, and basically just keep your sanity in check, because man, you will go crazy trying to get gold on these license tests in this game. Speaking of licenses tests, I was personally never been a big fan of license tests in this entire series, but they are there, like if you would like a great challenge, especially trying to get gold on all of them. Man, trying to get gold on that corkscrew and like in that game is just, man, you are gonna have a nice time. And plus as well, some of these license test challenges are complete bullshit, like cause like dude, like some of these times are ridiculous. As well, there's some special races in this game that might specify a car type, horsepower limits, endurance races, rally races, so on and so forth, man. Like this game just has so much content packed on that this game had to be split into two discs, which just shows you just how much content is packed on to this game. And crazy thing is, this game was actually rushed, which just makes it even more insane, seeing how amazing that this game is, that it was like rushed out and was still like top tier. So yeah, guys, like if you guys ever get a chance to like play this game, man, give it a try. Of course, to me, like the best way to play this game is to just grab a emulator and just like crank this game up to 4K 60 FPS, and man, like you will see that this game still like plays amazing. And plus as well, there are mods for this game that will that can add in brand new cars, a newer soundtrack, or that just like still fits that time period, tracks, all of that, man. And man, like this game is still in my personal opinion the best game of the whole series. So So yeah, guys, give GT2 a try. It's amazing. Hey, so I can't leave my Dreamcast games hanging out. So let's talk about Soul Calibur, which is easily my favorite fighting game franchise of all time. If a game could be defined as underappreciated, Soul Calibur as a series would just perfectly fit that definition to a T. Because man, like, this game should be mentioned in conversations with Tekken and with like Street Fighter and with Mortal Kombat and such, but it's rarely ever brought up. Plus, well, it does not help that there hasn't been a Soul Calibur game that has come out in so long that this series honestly seems like it's dormant right now, which is just sad because this series deserves way better. Soul Calibur 1 was just such a dope start to the series, and honestly, like, its combo system and its fight mechanics were better than Tekken, which just might sound like blasphemy to y'all, but man, like, I will stand on that hill and die on that hill because, man, like, Soul Calibur is just such a amazing fighting game. All of the characters in this game all got their own style. Ivy being my personal favorite for obvious reasons, but it's like all of the other characters are just super cool to play as, and to just like go through arcade mode, doing all their stories, and just like seeing all of their cutscenes. It is just super dope that these characters just have so much depth to them that is not forced down your throat. All the art that you unlock for the missions are like super dope, and that's because like some of this art actually ends up unlocking more missions during this mission based goal mode, which will of course like award you with characters, arenas, and of course like some more art in there, which is just super dope. The only thing that really holds this game back is that it's probably a little hard to get into than Tekken or Street Fighter Alpha, but man, it is worth playing, especially if you love fighting games, which me personally, I love fighting games, even though I'm complete ass at them, but I still love playing them, especially with my friends. And man, like, this game was just such a great start to the series that would just only continue to get better as the sequels come out. So yeah, like, let's just hope that they do make another one and not fumble like Tekken 8 did, because man, Tekken 8 had a layup and they somehow ended up in the nosebleed section. So please do not do that next Soul Calibur game.
You hacker, a pathetic creature of meat and bone, panting and sweating as you run through my corridors. How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine?
And of course, I gotta save the best game of the year for last, because man, this is a game to easily go out on, and that's of course System Shock 2. System Shock 2 was just such a huge step forward and just very innovative for its time, as this game came out in 1999, and man, like, this game has stuff that just a lot of games nowadays lack, such as actual open-ended content and not just and not just, not just like having such a railroaded game, i.e. every single Bethesda game since Fallout 3. Roast me if you want, but man, Bethesda games are just so railroaded. But hey, that is another rant for another time. But hey, like, nonetheless, System Shock 2 is just such a good game, and the story involves you going through the ship and completing tasks as your character wakes up from getting all of these implants put into him. And man, like this game's story honestly carries a lot of this game, since you're basically at first working for this like hacker chick that's basically controlling you and just like telling you what to do, how to do it, and where to go. Now, admittedly, the gameplay may seem stiff, especially if you're coming off of playing Half-Life 1 from the previous year, but it's honestly still passable, honestly. And to be honest, like once you get more of your upgrades, man, and once you get more into rhythm and just like see how the gameplay mechanics work, you can just easily go into a flow state and just like easily defeat all of these zombies and stuff, and like all these monkeys. And of course, this game's graphics are simply amazing. I mean, this game has that exact aesthetic that I just love. It's just that late 90s Matrix, neo-futuristic X aesthetic that's like, of course, populated a lot of PC games around this time, such as this one, Deus Ex, and Thief, which are also amazing games that just like need their own video covered in them soon. And of course, this game's lighting just stands the test of time, because man, like, to me, this game's lighting is still amazing, and it still holds up, and it just like makes such a great atmosphere for this game's sci-fi horror almost theme that it's going for. Overall, guys, man, get this game and just try it out. Like, if you can get this game on PC, get the original game on PC, because on Steam it's not there no more, because like I remember last year they had come out with a 25-year anniversary edition, and from like what I've seen and from what I've heard, that version of the game has just so many bugs in it that were just not in the 1999 release, and like then as well, apparently some of the textures kind of just like clash with the original art style, and it just makes it look very weird, almost as bad as this like new up and coming Deus Ex remake that, for one, no one asked for, and for two, looks like complete shit. Also, to add on, when I had launched this game, I did not have any patches, mods, fixes, none of that installed, and this game launched perfectly fine. And thing is, the only thing that I would say is just to bump that brightness up a bit, because on certain levels it does get really dark and you cannot really see all that well, but this game is obviously optimized extremely well, which is just such a foreign concept nowadays, apparently, since apparently no game can be optimized well. And the thing is, like, most of these games don't even look that great, but hey, that is another rant on top of these other many rants that of course, like, we can just save for a separate shorter video. '99 was just such an amazing year for games, guys. Now, yes, I know I missed some games, obviously, such as Shenmue, Sonic Adventure, Final Fantasy VIII, Driver, Siphon Filter, so on and so forth. But the games that I covered today are like games that just, like, me personally, I just have more of a personal attachment to, and these are games that I just like just like know a whole lot more about than those games. But those games are also amazing. Like those games, man, like just the whole year of 1999, just amazing games, amazing music, amazing movies, just everything was great in that year. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and this little bit more ranty nature of this one, since it is like a little bit more, like I'm a little bit more comfortable as opposed to that last video. So this video is a little bit more structured, and it's just like a little bit more on the nose. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, like, subscribe, share, hype, do all the good stuff. And man, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.